How you doing? This is Fat B64 with another console review. This time it's the Sega Dreamcast. This thing came out in 1999, September 9th, and it was very successfully launched. It's a 128-bit console, and it plays CD quality audio, just like the Sega CD and Sega Saturn. It's a top loading, which means if you break it, it can be easily repaired. And it says it has a little red orange swirl that says Dreamcast on it. As you can see, mine's kind of a little beaten up because of the because I got this at a thrift store, and it has. Other than that, it still works. You have your open button right here, your power button, which clicks on and off like that, and your LED, which is orange. It says you lifting your then the LED, then you have a blue scroller, and I think you have a blue LED too. On the front, you have 4 controller ports, which is very efficient, just so you won't have to buy that stupid multi-tap for the PlayStation 1 and 2. And it says compatible with Windows CE, which is very laughable in today's standards. On the side, you have a bent-up sticker. On the back, you have your AC in, your serial port, your AV out port, and your dial-up port, which is very useful since the Dreamcast was one of the first consoles to have online capability. And I can't take that out. On the side, we almost have nothing, but instead we have an air vent. On the back, we have information about the Dreamcast, saying it's 120 volts, and you proceed with caution. Also has the barcode right there and the FCC thing for the modem. And the Dreamcast was very awesome, and I really suggest you pick one up. Now let's talk about the controller. The controller is very neat in most standards. It's very comfortable. You have your A, B, X, and Y buttons, which are clearly colorful. Your analog stick, which is pretty standard in today's controllers. Your D-pad, which actually feels pretty good in my hand. And you have your start button, which I really complain about because I'm always thinking it's always up here, but it's always down here. It really sucks. And then you have the screen. This is what makes the Dreamcast different from any other system. Once you open this, you have this little Game Boy ripoff called a VMU, which basically not only acts as a memory card, but acts as a little portable Dreamcast, which you can carry it around everywhere you want to go. Like, for example, in Sonic Adventure, you can take a child with you and raise it. Now, Pokemon has a similar thing called the Pokewalker. And here's the plug. You plug it into your Dreamcast like so, and you're ready to play. And so, of course, it has to be hooked in. Like, we can't forget that. The Dreamcast games usually come in these jeweled cases. For example, I have Sonic Adventure, and it usually says Dreamcast on the side, or somewhere in black over here. If you open it up, you can see that it has the CD in there. Just pop this thing out. This does come with a trial demo of it too. And then you pop it in your Dreamcast, spin it around if you like, open the door, push the power button, and you're ready to go. Well, this system is just awesome. I remember my cousins having this system when they were little. When I was little, and the first time I went up there, I was going upstairs to their house, and they were already playing NFL 2K on this new system. I'm like, what the heck is this system? It feels so awesome. And another thing I forgot to mention about the controller, I'm sorry, please, I apologize for that, is the trigger buttons, the trigger switches. There are no L and R logo on here. They're just triggers. And you also have an extra port for any other accessory like a rumble feature or an extra memory card, etc. One thing good about these VMUs is that if you find another person with a VMU, you can kind of connect them to each other, and they'll be able to and track information and do other types of multi-purpose stuff that you usually do with VMUs. I don't think these things do that anymore. But if you have one and you have two VMUs, you can try that. Ups and downs. The Dreamcast was a very good system, and I recommend you pick. Like I said, I recommend you pick one up today because I think these are very undervalued. I remember going to Play and Trade, seeing a couple of Dreamcasts, and heck, even the Sega Sports version, which is in black. So they're pretty easy, and the games are pretty easy to afford. I got Sonic Adventure for like $9 or $10. The downside is when the PlayStation 2 came out, this thing was just blown out of the waters because of its new technology. The fact that it set the record for most sales of any game system, and the fact that it was, well, heck, it was Sony. You know how good their games are. Anyway, but one thing that the Dreamcast had that Sony didn't was that it had 4 controller ports, like I said mentioned before. Instead, you had to buy that dumb multi-tap for every time you want to do 8 to 4 player action, 4 to 8 player action. Anyway, I can't believe this thing lost to the PlayStation. That's a shame. And and one other thing that blew it out of the water was since this thing was running on CDs and the PlayStation was running on DVD-ROMs, which was also made the PlayStation 2 a DVD player. Now, one thing I don't see is, well, we may have not noticed it back then, that the PlayStation 2 just break, especially the fat ones, break easily. And like I have a friend whose PlayStation 2 was already broken just for falling off something. Where my GameCube was an exception. A TV fell on it, and all I was left was a scratch on my friend's. That's insane. Anyway, another thing, there was this video remember watching on YouTube that was testing the strength of the consoles with the GameCube, Xbox, and PlayStation 2, and the PlayStation 2 already lost just for having it dropped or kicked or something. And all of them, the GameCube won. The Xbox came in second place. I don't know why the Dreamcast wasn't in that. We probably would have seen that also. But anyway, this is a very good system. I really recommend you pick one up, and very soon I'll be showing some gameplay. This is Fat Alien Beast 64 saying thank you and have a wonderful day.